the recording. All right. Hello, everyone. SIYP podcast show uncensored. How are we? Hi, Hazel.
Hello.
How are
How are
you?
you? My allergies are making me sneezy.
Well, here, we had because we're still in the new place. Thank God. No, I'm kidding. We had for the last couple days like lovely summer weather. Like, it was not too hot, but it was clear skies and good weather. But today it's raining, so it's kind of
Wow.
interesting, and it's cold again. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The allergies some people have been reacting to because, flowers are coming out. And for me, there's not many allergies, but there's a lot of mosquitoes, which I would take allergies over mosquitoes anytime. But yeah. Anyway, so okay, I think today it's just going to be Hazel and myself. Rebecca's not free today, and David is busy also. So it's just the two of us today.
Mm-hmm.
Hazel, do you want to go first?
Sure. So last week we didn't have the call because we were all occupied, and
Mhm.
I had that week off on vacation, and it was really nice. What came up for me that week was gratitude. Gratitude that I could take the time off and just relax.
Mhm.
Gratitude that I had people at the office covering for me. Oh, David is
Oh,
here.
David is here. We thought David would not be here, but David is here.
Yeah, David's here. I just got off
Hi.
the subway.
Oh, okay. Well, David,
Oh,
So it's
Hazel's
like
going
perfect
into her
timing.
share. Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Hazel just started her share, and then you can go next.
Okay.
Okay. So
okay.
yeah, go on, David. Go on, Hazel. Sorry.
Yes, I was just saying, David, that last week we didn't do the call, and I was away on vacation that week. And what came up for me was gratitude that I could have the time off, and also gratitude that I had people at the office covering for me. And it was just a really nice week because my husband took me out for lunch at our favorite Italian restaurant. We saw a movie that week also, and I had lunch with some friends that I haven't seen for a while. So it was a
Mhm.
really relaxing and beautiful week. And then this week, I was back at the office, just catching up with work. Again, gratitude. I still have a job. What else came up for me? Actually, at one point, it was a Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, I had lunch, and then after lunch, I started not feeling so good, like a digestive upset. So then I'm like, my manager was there, and I said, "Oh, I have to go home. I'm not feeling so good." And he's like, "Are you okay? Do you need me to walk you to the subway station or something?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'll." I'm like, "Thank you. I'll be able to get home." And he even sent me a message later, saying, "Did you get home safe? Are you okay?" And I was just, gratitude again that he was so caring. And
Mhm.
I just took time that evening to rest. And then I worked from home on the Wednesday. And then Thursday, I was feeling a lot better. So I went back to the office. And the week just kind of flew by. And it was really smooth. Like the past 2 weeks were really nice and smooth. And I can't think of any other way to describe it.
Perfect.
Well, I'm experiencing your joyful. You have this joyfulness about you and this happiness. Is what I'm noticing. It's a great
Yeah.
energy this day.
And the weather's getting nicer, so that's also a bonus. Sunshine. So yeah. hmm
Nice.
Um, can't think of anything else. I'm complete.
Okay. David. Go ahead. You're back in Toronto.
Yeah, and it was weird. It was like 100 last Saturday, and this Saturday, and then this week it was so cold. It was just like, what's happening with this weather in this world? But I think it's related
Exactly.
to the country.
That roller coaster.
Yeah.
But I was actually, it was weird. Like the last week I was packing up in Florida. I just I didn't want to go home, but I knew I was going home. And well, so I knew I was going home with no money. So that actually puts a whole new spin on things for me. But it's interesting because I actually don't really care. I'm not stressing about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not like chewing my fingernails. Where's my next dollar coming from? I'm just allowing whatever to happen. And yeah, so I'm just actually and actually this morning when I was on the subway, I was noticing like there's a difference. I don't know how I pinpoint it, but um, there's more. I don't know. I don't know how to actually say it, but there was a big difference in it from when I was riding subway 3 months ago.
For you to call it a difference, it was a difference compared to what?
Usually I am like still grab my bag. I forgot something. My mind is like kind of like going like, oh, what did I forget? Oh my goodness, like sort of like a panicky. But not today. I actually stood up from my seat, the subway, put my bag over, and walked out. And I didn't need to look back or anything because I know I didn't forget anything. Everything is here with me.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think
that's
that could be like a result from all the detachment that we're like constantly sharing in our podcasts, in our discussions, in our calls. And I think what's really beautiful to acknowledge is it's not just detachment like we don't care. It's detachment because there's no purpose to attach to this fear. Like, am I worried, panicky, whatever? It's just so released.
yeah, yeah. That would be a good description.
Yeah, it shows. It shows, and I think it's beautiful. The reason why I asked, like, for you to call it a difference, I think it's also beautiful to realize what is the comparison, because someone's. We always say like, oh, it's different. It feels different, but then if we look at what is it feeling different compared to what it used to be, we can see what we were hooked on to, not to criticize it, but just to be like, wow, that's what I used to do, and now look at how it's changed, transformed.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And I'm starting to transform and shift and change the message of what I do in my
Mm.
networking. So um, there's going to be a shift in that very soon. I feel it, but it's yeah, I would just like to have it sooner, but whatever.
Now don't go attaching anything to it. Just let it happen.
No,
And
it just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So whatever.
Mhm.
I like to use whatevs like whatevs,
Yeah,
like not
but
as an attitude of just like whatever, like it doesn't matter.
exactly, like just what you said. It's not as an attitude. It's just like it's not. It's whatever. It is what it is, but not in a pride thing. Like, oh, okay, it is what it is. No, it's just it is what it is. What is going to happen
Yeah,
will happen.
yeah, and it's not my problem; it's God's problem. So I'm just the one living it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'd say I'm complete.
Hmm. Awesome. Yeah. And I think it's really great because again, all the calls we're doing, all the podcastings we're sharing, and all the experiences we're having, it's interesting because in my last 2 weeks, I think the last podcast I shared with all of you that I'm starting to take a step back with my connection with my family, my work, my colleagues, my friends, but particularly my family, where I started realizing that I was creating for myself a feeling of stress, worry, and everything if my sister didn't be a certain way with her relationship, if my mom didn't be a certain way with her priorities. I was going too much into fear, like, oh, my grandmother's not doing well. And I remember on the last podcast I shared that the more I gave that up, the more I allowed in my detachment my grandmother to heal naturally, the more I allowed my mom to focus on whatever she needed to in her space, the more I allowed my sister to do whatever she needs to do. And I mean, in a way, I was free from that self-imposed stress because I thought I needed to figure it out for everyone. I thought like I needed to be extra ready from something that may not even happen. So continuing that transition into the last 2 weeks, very interesting. What showed up was so my fiance and I, Rebecca and I, have started our own business. We started our own thing. We've been discussing about food tours, in the city and taking people to experience different restaurants and the culture and the food and like the olives. There's a story that ties everything together. And actually, just today we realized that it's not even 2 weeks that we've been running, and what showed up in the last 2 weeks was because we started from pretty much zero, like in funding and capital and whatever. We need money to pay for the food that we're taking people who pay for it. So like when people pay for a service, you don't just get that money right away. It takes some time to clear and everything. So it was very interesting because there are people in the team that are able to fund the business, and there are people in the team like myself that don't have that money on the side to fund the business. And we all know Seishan's lovely relationship with money, even though I have improved from where I was 2 years ago. The difference is 2 years ago, I was very, very confrontational, resistance to finances. Now I'm just like, que sera, what will be, will be. So what happened in this last 2 weeks was with all of this, gratitude showed up of recent because there were moments where we were governed by fear, resistance, like how are we going to make this work? We've just started the business and we're already, you know, dealing with challenges, dealing with obstacles and everything. And then Rebecca and I realized this, but the beautiful thing is, it wasn't just Rebecca and I that was realizing we're governed by fear, but everyone in the team realized it too. And then everyone in the team started calling out each other, like, let's just be grateful. Like, and Rebecca and I looked at ourselves and we're like, this is interesting because everyone else is now doing their form of the work without knowing the work, but it's like we're creating the space for the work to show, which is forgiveness, gratitude, detachment, vision, intentionality, everything, all of that showed up in the team. So that was really beautiful. We're gonna have a meeting right after this, to because money has cleared, it has come in, and we're gonna celebrate it compared to if we did this from the past, we wouldn't really be enjoying the celebration. We'd be like, oh yeah, Hazel, great job. But we still got a lot of, we would still go back into not being grateful. So that was beautiful. That's been showing up the last 2 weeks. And when we have our misunderstandings, just for the listeners out there, it's not like just because we've reached this level, the misunderstandings are not difficult to deal with. When they show up, they're still difficult. They're still like overwhelming, like we want to rip each other's hair out or throats while this is happening. But then it doesn't last as long as it used to last in the past. And how it used to last in the past was months, that, or even with the family now, the family is just like, all right, cool, you don't need to over worry about this. But in the past, for some reason, we would always be like, no, let's stay there. Let's stay there in the worry because we need to go through the worry to figure it out. As compared to now, we're just like, why are we holding on to the worry? Like David, how you said, like, why do I need to look back? I'll just pack up my bag and leave. Like, I don't need to stay in that worry. So work has been work. And so, that's our business, family. And the last thing I just wanted to say to be complete is, over the last 3 months with work, so my job that I've had for the last 7 years, um, the last 3 months, for that quarter, I finished with like 60 positive feedback, right? And for some reason, I mean, obviously I can improve myself and better myself, but the feedback I've been getting in these last 2 weeks was like six out of the 15 feedbacks I have. Six were not good ones. They were actually really not positive. They were really like, oh, the support wasn't that great. The support didn't care about me. And it was ironic because Rebecca and I spoke about this yesterday, and I was just like so pissed. I was just like, fuck this, like, how dare they say that to me, and how dare they criticize me, and they're all evil monsters, blah, blah, blah. And Rebecca was like, oh, well, babe, you don't have to care about this. And I'm like, no, no, let me just vent and bitch about this. And then I again realized through Rebecca's collaboration through me, because I allowed myself also to reflect, Rebecca was simply saying that this point of view has nothing to do with who I am. So the only way that point of view from people, from situations, from whatever can have an impact on me is if I give it power. If I make that point of view significant. So yeah, it took, some back and forth where I was like, babe, just let me vent and bitch and everything. And I was like, oh, you're not listening to me. I don't know if that's happened to any of you when you're like in that state, you feel the other person's not listening to you, but they're just trying to like snap you out of it. It took some of that for me to go back and just be like, I got 60 positive in 3 months. And why am I doing this to myself? So that was like literally yesterday where it shows my work, my family, and everything. And I think just the constant detachments and represence into the now shows how much like beauty there is in the now, and yeah, and power that we're stepping into. Yeah, that's pretty much been my last 2 weeks.
So actually, I would like to make a comment on the you actually saying how your sister's supposed to show up and everyone's supposed to show up. That was actually judging. So you were judging them. And so how does it feel that you're not judging them?
It feels pretty awesome because remember what I was asking you, David. What was it, like 4 podcasts ago? I'm like, how do we give up this judgment? And we created that you can't really give up the judgment, but you can choose not to judge, which is like a domino effect. It's pretty awesome because then I like my brain doesn't go into this like overthinking, over analyzing, over figuring it out. If someone needs me to help them show up, they make the request and I can choose, as compared to me anticipating that, oh, okay, my sister's going to call me because she can't figure out anything and I need to figure it out for her. It actually has me have a better relationship with my sister.
And the funny thing is when you actually in that space that you have to fix it for your sister, and she's going to call me. She is going to call you, and she is going to be a mess. It is something you're going to have to fix. You
And
save
and
yourself a lot of grief.
right, yeah, and maybe that grief and everything that I saved myself from, I can keep it available when she does need it, as compared to already setting myself up like, no, I'm not going to do it because it's stressful. The stress is just coming from me. I'm the one who's creating that stress, not her.
I wouldn't even set it up to where she's going to need it because that's actually creating it as well. So just stay where you're
Yeah.
at.
Just,
Whatevs.
just whatevs. I'm gonna call that. That's gonna be the title of our podcast. Whatevs. Yeah, that's it for me. I am complete as well. All right. Are
Oh,
we all good to be on the call next week?
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. And
actually,
this, yeah,
oh no, are you still? We're still on the podcast part.
we're still on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Go ahead, David.
Oh no, I was just wondering if you guys were interested in possibly coaching people into how to teach them how to love themselves.
Okay,
I could
I'm
introduce you
interested.
to someone. Okay, I'll introduce you to someone. And Hazel, are you interested?
What was it? I didn't hear
Are
exactly.
you interested in teaching people how to love themselves?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect, done. I think I'm both. Are we connected on LinkedIn at all?
I don't know.
I
I'll have
think
to
I
We'll
check.
am.
connect. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'll actually send you. I'll do that from tomorrow.
So, for all
Cool.
the listeners who are still listening, if you guys are curious to what we're talking about, stay tuned because we're going to probably share this on our next podcast, what that looks like. And if any of you are interested, reach out. We've got different channels available. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Bye.